Okay, question 12 reads, which of the following equations has a graph in the xy plane with no x-intercepts? If I draw out, if I visualize what no x-intercepts are gonna look like, it's gonna be something like this. These are all parabolas, meaning that they look like a U, okay? And because I know this because they're all quadratic equations. And all quadratics are in the general form ax squared plus bx plus c. And so the one quadratic we're after should look like this with no x-intercepts. It can be like that, it can be upside down as well. But the idea is that it's floating and not intercepting the x-axis. But obviously we can't plot these equations into a graph, a graphing calculator for instance, because it's the no calculator section. So what do we rely on to solve this question? Something called the discriminant, okay? And so this is the notation that we give for the discriminant. But the discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. And so b squared from the general form, okay? So b squared minus 4ac from the general form. So whatever here value falls here, we're going to square that, minus 4 into the value that is next to the coefficient of x squared into the constant term. Okay, so that's going to be our discriminant. But how do we use the discriminant to find out how many x-intercepts there are? Well, there's three things that you need to know, okay? If the discriminant, okay, the discriminant is equal to 0, there is one x-intercept. There is exactly one x-intercept, and graphically that would look something like this. Okay, the vertex alone of the parabola is going to be like intersecting the x-axis. Okay, if the discriminant is less than or less than 0, then there are going to be no x-intercepts. Okay, and so it's going to look something like that. Okay, and if the discriminant is greater than 0, then there's going to be 2 x-intercepts. And so that will look something like this, okay, graphically. What we're after in this question is this guy right here, not any of these, okay? So we're after no x-intercepts. So our discriminant, if we go one by one, looking through these solutions, our discriminant should be less than 0. -1, -2, -3, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's look at the answer choices. A says y equals x squared plus 3x plus 4. Let's find the discriminant of A. It's going to be b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4. A is going to be 1, right? An imaginary 1 is going to be there. So A is going to be 1. And C, the constant term, is 4. That's going to be 9 minus 16. 9 minus 16 is -7. Is that number less than 0? Definitely, right? And so automatically, we're kind of lucky. Our first answer choice is less. The discriminant of our first answer choice is less than 0. And so we automatically know that's the answer, okay? And if you try doing the other ones, B, C, and D, you're going to see that the discriminant is going to be either equal to 0 or it's going to be either greater than 0. So it's not going to be less than 0, and our answer is A.